Hi, we're Tom and Phil from Cedar Studios, and we're going to talk about a few cool things we've done for Tavern Keeper, our new game. A few examples in like how we've done some cool things for music, some of the eating sound effects, and also some of the emotes for all the different character races as well.
One of the tracks that we want to talk about specifically is one of the orc tracks, in which we used a lot of slide guitar and real percussion. We were here on the floor just playing around with a broom, trying to make it sound cool, and we had a little broom solo in the track as well, didn't we?
We're trying to make it kind of sound like it's a bunch of like ragtag orcs that have like kind of made this music in their level. So obviously what kind of percussion or what sort of instruments would an orc be able to hold, we were thinking about. So we can't have like pianos and any sort of like intricate violins. It's very much like the percussion's like sweeping a floor, or like a big trombone or basses and stuff. It's big instruments that you can imagine an orc would be able to use. And that kind of helped us create the soundscape. And then we've kind of gone from there and started recording some own samples to try and make it sound a bit more organic and real as well.
Yeah, we used a lot of slide guitar as well, and it's kind of rough but kind of intricate, and
like an orc's hand, like their fingers wouldn't be able to like play the frets.
Yeah.
Right? So a slide kind of makes sense in the world of.
Yeah, it's a bit like shaky, and I don't know, it just seemed to work really well for it.
Yeah, it fits like quite nice.
Yeah,
vibe,
it's quite different. It definitely gives them their own sound compared to the other races in the game. I can't wait for people to listen to the soundtrack as well and like be listening to these like orcs just singing these songs. It was like me and you just in here just like layering up loads of wah-wahs. Just going wah wah wah.
Yeah, the origin of all their sounds is just in the game. There's like a kind of an overview map where you can see all the different like areas in the worlds that the races are from. And we kind of have this like kind of track that kind of plinks along as you go through.
It's one track basically, so when you switch between the different map areas, it doesn't sound like the track stopped and started again. It just sounds like, oh, we've just switched instrumentation now, but it's still all in time. There's a lot of systems, and it's one track, but it took ages to do because there's just like so many different layers to it, but it sounds really cool.
I mean, that's kind of what's really useful about having Wise, is that we can go into all those crazy layers. So in the game, if there's like the background ambience isn't just a generic ambience, it's like, well, how many halflings are in the tavern right now? Okay, there's roughly 40% halflings and 60% orcs, so we can weight the ambience to have those kind of murmurs at that level. So we can literally have, okay, well, that would be how many halflings would be in that background ambience. So there's loads of cool things that musically, dynamic-wise, and sound effects wise we can use to kind of have those moments where the user is looking at different things and have those details.
I guess probably the grossest thing that we recorded in the game was like the eating sounds. There's meals like a rat on stick, and there's like rat soup. And we're thinking like, how do we record that? We're not going to actually do a rat soup.
Yeah, we had some grosser things initially, but we found the three main ingredients for a good sound design, food-wise, is beans, or something squelchy and disgusting like pasta, something wet, something crunchy like honeycomb.
Yeah, the honeycomb was for like the bones that you'd imagine that would be in like the rat soup. And then I think it's just an apple as well. There's kind of that like
Apple's a great crunch, meaty wetness.
crunch wetness to it.
A good example is like if you see someone bite into a steak, that actually in a cartoon or a game that's quite loud. But in real life, a steak isn't that loud, so you kind of need a bit of a crunch, a bit of a juicy apple. You'd think that wouldn't sound like ripping meat, but when you see like the orc kind of chewing a rat off a stick, that actually is pretty good with an apple and some beans. It sounds crazy, but those blended together works quite well in that context.
It all got pretty disgusting when we were recording this.
Yeah. With the orcs and how they interact with each other in the levels, as well as the other races, we kind of were thinking, how is that going to sound as a language? You know, would they all be speaking the same language, and how are we going to record that and also translate it for other languages in the real world for localization?
Yeah.
So we kind of were trying different ideas of like, do they just make sounds, and then that kind of evolved into syllables, and then we ended up just kind of having these random like, okay, let's have ta, te, to, ka, ke, ko, and like that was just Tavern Keeper. We were like just taking consonants from the game title.
Yeah, so there's like the orcs, there's like male orcs and then female orcs, and then we also had the different races, which were the humans. We've got halflings, elves, and the dwarfs as well. So they all have their own language that follow this kind of same system. If your tavern's doing badly, you can kind of hear in the ambience that the orcs or whoever's in the tavern are reacting badly, because they'll be playing more angry emotes. But if you're doing quite well, you'll hear them a bit more uplifted and cheery. So you can kind of tell how you're doing in the game without looking at a meter that says, you know, oh, you're on 30% or 70%. You can kind of just listen and think, oh, okay, they don't seem that happy, so I should, you know, I need to do some of these tasks and stuff like that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of game syncs that we have sent to us from obviously Greenheart, and we can hip that to Wise. So if people are in an angry state in game and you're trying to let the user know, okay, your patrons are getting quite annoyed, they need some more drinks at the taps, or they need some more service in this room, you should be able to kind of tell just by hovering over and kind of hearing, oh, they sound a bit angry over here compared to the other room, maybe my attention needs to go over there. But it's not as direct as like having a message being like, you need to do this thing. It's a bit more subtle details that you can see from the animations and like hear from the sound, like, oh, they need something over there. And it's just trying to make the world feel a bit more organic, like you're actually reacting to a real thing, rather than just kind of watching it all happen.
I hope you guys enjoyed us going behind the scenes of some of the sounds we made in Tavern Keeper.
Yeah, and check out the game, let us know what you think, and see if you can find those sounds yourself.
Yeah. Cheers.